an introvert's guide to living dangerously or just as an extrovert, which is basically as dangerous as it gets, right? So it's called Sorry I'm Late, I Didn't Want to Come by Jessica Pan. Also, stick around for more book and podcast recommendations that need to be on your radar. So welcome to Bookmarked, where we find and review some of the best books about life. Sorry I'm Late is non-fiction, so it's a real-life retelling of everything that happened to Jessica when she started to do the stuff that terrified her. And I honestly think everyone needs to read this. So Jessica basically spends a year trying to live like an extreme extrovert with hilarious results and advice for the readers along the way. She basically wants to find out if living like an extrovert will improve the quality of her life and teach her important life lessons. And spoiler alert, it does both. So she sets herself a series of challenges to complete before the year is up. Think things that even the most extroverted of extroverts might think twice about. Doing improv, performing stand-up comedy, hosting dinner parties with nearly strangers. But she does have to literally force herself to do all of these things, mind. It's worth saying that she does all of this as an American in the famously unfriendly and untalkative city of London. Yeah. Interestingly, Jessica begins the book by explaining that about 90% of her close friends and family wouldn't even know that she was an introvert because she goes to such efforts to hide it. And although the book is about trying to become that little bit more extroverted, the main message it gives is that shy people are not alone. And that there is nothing wrong with being an introvert as long as you can and you do occasionally push yourself out of your comfort zone. She's a super funny author, and trust me, she will have you laughing out loud and cringing too. And one of the coolest parts of the book is that no matter where you are on the introvert-extrovert scale, everyone can learn something from it. Now, if you're liking the sound of this book so far, you need to add Cringeworthy by Melissa Dahl to your list. It basically explores the psychology and science of awkwardness, like what makes an interaction awkward and how we can stop it. So she's literally a scientist who studies awkwardness, and she just wrote a whole book about it. And like Jessica, she also makes herself do things outside of her comfort zone. So she makes herself talk to strangers on the subway, and she even reads her high school diary out loud in public. And trust me, after reading it, you'll be able to laugh about those cringe moments rather than cringe. Or if podcasts are more your thing, you should listen to the Introvert Dear podcast. It aims to help introverts live more peaceful and meaningful lives and find peace in their introvertism. It also helps extroverts see some of the benefits of embracing some of those more introverted qualities. It's hosted by Jen Granum, who is author of The Secret Lives of Introverts, and Bo Miller, who is founder of the INFJ personality show. They speak to lots of introvert influencers, celebs, and experts to help introverts kind of understand themselves better and grow. Okay, back to the star of the show, Sorry I'm Late. So Jessica's adventure starts after she hits a bit of a low point. She finds herself unemployed with no nearby friends, and she finds herself as a result kind of leaning on her introverted qualities a little bit too much. So she decides to stop saying no to everything and start saying yes to literally everything. She tries everything from solo trips to countries where she doesn't speak the language to stopping people on the street for a conversation. And she says that she learned from talking to a psychologist that her fear of talking to strangers stems from a fear of being perceived as stupid. So to combat that, she basically goes up to strangers and asks them the most idiotic questions possible. Basically, she makes herself the centre of attention for a whole year. It's a fast, easy, and very, very entertaining read. It's also a great reminder of how short life is and how most things in life just don't really matter. In a freeing, inspirational way, not a depressing, morbid way, of course. By the end of the book, Jessica realises that even just making the effort is the whole point, just knowing that you can do it and testing yourself occasionally. And she finds that talking to strangers and doing things that you wouldn't normally is super addictive and can provide a cheap high. And it also ends with the conclusion that she is still in fact an introvert, but that is okay. So to summarise, this book was written by an introvert, but everyone can take something from it. And you will definitely have a laugh along the way. So make sure to try something new every now and then, just so you know that you can. What should we review next? Make sure to join us for the next episode of Bookmarked.